Now there's a tombstone. It's been out for a while. It's got drippy, droppy rain effects. It's a grayish slab of stone. It's truly been out under the elements for a long time. This is a great stone, in my opinion. And yet, it's still missing something. It's missing what grows on most stone, giving rainy, wet, damp, weathery conditions. Some moss. Moss is obviously entirely, completely optional to your stone. If you like the way it is, it's done. You're all set. But if you want to give it a little bit more flavor, feel free. Obviously, if you live in a desert, state, region, province, section of the world, moss probably is not the most intelligent thing to put on your stone. It will kind of break the illusion if you have moss growing in a desert. But up here in northern New York, yeah, moss works. Moss works really well. And your options for moss are manifold. You can get this stuff. This is floral moss, sometimes marketed under Spanish moss. And you will find this in flower shops. You'll find this in the Halloween stores right around the good old holiday. This stuff is either synthetic, mostly it's natural, it's actual Spanish moss that's been harvested and dried and ready to go. So this is one of your options for moss. Another option, this is bushes. Light green bushes. This is from a railway train modeling kit. This is pretty much green flocking to make it look like trees, bushes, green stuff. And that's what we need on this. That's what I need on this. Some green stuff. For applying it, you're going to want some sort of adhesive. The adhesive that you use ultimately is unimportant so long as it has one important quality. It's relatively clear. If you have a white glue that dries white, you're going to have white sticking out around your moss, and that's not going to look terribly good. But for the sake of something that almost every single crafter has got around, I'm just going to use hot glue. Hot glue has the problem that over time, if you have hot, cold conditions, it's going to yellow, it's going to age, it's going to stop locking on. You could use super glue if you wanted. You could use some of that, what is it, E6000 tacky glue they sell in craft stores. Your options for putting this on, again, are limitless so long as they're clear. But again, almost every crafter's got a hot glue gun. That's what I'm going to use. Make sure you're using the low temperature hot glue gun. The high temp ones will mulch into foam. And now that the paint's already on top, that's the last thing you want. So a nice low temp hot glue gun. My personal preference for the mossing of tombstones is the railroad flock. Alright. Further aspects of maintaining your illusion. Moss grows in cracks and crevasses. And that's where you should probably focus your efforts if you want it to look realistic. If you don't care, have fun. Coat the whole damn thing in moss. Nobody's going to give you any kind of trouble. Alright, so where's my moss going? Well, I got a deep crack right here in the side. So some of my moss is going in there, because that's where it would naturally start to grow, given the opportunity to do so. Hot glue is going in. I'm going to mush it around a little bit. Grab some of my flocking. Shove it in and on. I'm going to take it a little bit more up and around, a bit further down to the crack too. The only problem with the hot glue is you'll get the standard hot glue problem of little stringy pieces of hot glue coming out. They're easily removed, especially once it's cooled off and hardened. Not a problem. So there's my first bit of moss hiding down there. Where else would moss grow in this? Probably in the corners. There's a divoty spot there where moss will have more than enough opportunity. Low temp hot glue gun. Low temp. The other thing that's nice about the flock is you can really go small pieces, big pieces, and get them very, very easily. The other thing that's nice about the synthetic flocking is that, unlike the actual former old dried moss, it's not going to absorb the water and then kind of it's not going to reconstitute, and that is to bring the stuff back to life, but the water will cause it to swell and go away as rains hit your tombstone over the season. So there we go. Some moss, good stone, some weathering. We're in good shape. As far as I'm concerned, this stone's pretty much done. The only step that remains is mounting. So on Halloween, grab yourself a couple of stakes. They couldn't be inexpensive wooden dowels from the dollar store that are sharpened on one end, and these are just going to get put into the ground. And then your tombstone is going to slide into the wooden stakes. And once there, it will be very, very rooted. The only thing that can be a problem is actually putting the stakes in. Right now I'm working on a better means for doing that, so that comes in at the right angle all the time, because sometimes you get the stakes going in and one goes in straight up and the other one kind of kinks off to the left or right, and it's a pain to get them parallel. But this method will ensure that your tombstone on Halloween night and all month long, or however long you have it up, does not waver, does not fall over, cannot get blown down. This thing is rooted in the ground. I got it and drop it, okay. And obviously when the season's over, up it comes, pull the stakes out, you're done. The only other facet that you're going to have to worry about with your tombstones is them taking damage. And they're going to get little bumps, little scrapes all the time. That's nothing to be afraid of, just over storage. Maybe somebody walks by them in the yard, kicks them a little bit by accident. Maybe you get a little case of outright vandalism. I really pray you don't. It's the one thing as a haunter that I worry about every single year. But let's say it happens. Let's say that I want you all to know how much this hurts me. Let's say our stone took some damage. This is pretty standard. This will happen all the time. But all you need to do to this part here, give it a little hit of black, a little hit of gray over it, and nobody's going to be any the wiser for it. I'll probably try to patch this up just so I can have it for a final viewing with some sort of set. But this is going to happen to your stones. Be ready for it. A little bit of black, a little bit of gray. If you want to put your water effects on again, I mean, really, it's going to be very hard to notice. But your stones are going to take damage over time. all fixed. All right. Hope you had fun, as I sure did making this video for you. I'm hoping to have more techniques in the future, but again, I do these videos on kind of a yearly basis as I have time, because during the school year, I'm busy. The only other cool thing I thought of is you might be able to take some of that wonderful phosphorescent and or glow-in-the-dark paint that does not actually show up unless there's a black light on it, put some sort of spooky message on here, and then it only illuminates when hit by a black light. I'm hoping to have a video on that when I get the materials and the means at some point. But there is Halloween Tombstones, a huge walkthrough. Thank you for watching. Happy haunting, and have a wonderful creative time making your own stones.
I am dead. I have returned to the land of the living.